Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Key Value Retail Technology Podcast. It's great to have you here again, and I hope we're going to have a great session today. My guest today is Dirk Lahmann, COO of Key Value. Hi Dirk, how are you?
Hi Christian, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So Dirk, obviously we know each other very well, but the audience is not, so it would be great if you could introduce yourself.
Yes, sure. I'm responsible for operations at Key Value, especially for delivery. So I'm leading the project teams and also managing strategic projects. I've been with companies specialized in retail planning for the last 16 years in the role of a project manager and professional service manager. And there I was driving mainly process implementation projects in the industry, in the retail industry, with focus on fashion retail mainly. Yeah, that's what I did. And
Great. Yeah, and we've known each other now for, I don't even know, maybe 6, 7 years, no,
yeah,
6 years probably.
yeah.
We've worked together in many or for many projects. So obviously today we also want to talk a bit about how Key Value delivers projects and how we approach this whole topic. So maybe to start with, what's Key Value's philosophy when delivering projects?
I mean, to make it short, I mean, it's this think big, start small, move fast. I mean, where we think that think big is kind of a holistic approach. I mean, we try to identify and consider the complete picture of the underlying, let's say, strategic goals and motivations of our stakeholders that we have in the projects. Start small then is this to translate those aspects into manageable steps of process implementation, delivering a complete solution that is focusing on process depth now and process width later, to enable the customer then to move fast as the third component. That means to benefit from a core solution quickly and then being able to enhance the running system in an agile way based on the experiences gathered and then also following the then current priorities.
Great. Yeah. I mean, I've mentioned that also in a couple of podcast episodes before. Think big, start small, move fast is really the philosophy in everything we do. And but how exactly does that now translate into projects and how we do projects?
Yeah, I mean, what it means is that we can deliver following MVP, minimum viable product approach. That means we can provide support for the parts of the retail planning process that have the highest priority for the customer in only a few months. And there we are concentrating on addressing the core requirements. It's clear. So, and we are doing this based on a pre-configured process implementation. So we are not coming from scratch. We are using pre-configured process implementations. But at the same time, our solutions are modular and we can cover the complete bandwidth of retail planning and can also in this way ensure an integrated end-to-end experience for our customers. And at the end, I mean, coming from those core process implementations, our solutions can then be flexibly adapted to specific needs. So when discussing roadmaps and budgets, we plan with our customers already from the beginning for phases of agile evolution for this specific solution. And then these agile phases then, we usually can consider end user feedback as the drivers for priorities and have a kind of fast-paced fine-tuning and enhancement phase where we are improving the process implementation.
Okay. And I mean, looking back at how projects used to be done and delivered, what exactly is the difference of our approach compared to the traditional project approach?
I mean, as I maybe mentioned before, I mean, we have this MVP approach, and that enables us to deliver faster and create value with respect to the core business requirements earlier than usually, whilst keeping the flexibility to address customer-specific requirements in an agile way. And I mean, what is most important, I think, is that we consider priorities and challenges to be constantly changing in retail planning business. So that's part of the plan, and it's not a bad surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Also, from my experience doing project, I mean, there's always when we talk to our typical customer, which is a fashion retailer, for example, we have very often the challenge that there's two parties involved. One party is obviously the business side, where you talk about processes. People constantly think about how, for example, a merchandise planning process needs to be optimized and also implemented into a solution. But then on the other side, there's the IT, who has different challenges and different motivations. They want to make sure that the IT architecture is following their IT strategy. They're worried more about technical aspects and integration. And sometimes the challenge is that those two are not always, let's say, going into the right direction, into the same direction. How do we manage both? I mean, business processes and IT during a project.
Yeah. I mean, planning is a data-driven process, and the availability of high-quality data is key for a project success. And I mean, although integration structures are usually not very complex in our area, a common understanding of the data structures required to support the business processes is needed, as well as a constant check of the business requirements against reality, let's call it that way, with respect to data availability in customers' backend systems. And that's why the customer IT resources are an essential part of our project team setup. So we plan really to involve them from day one in the design sessions and check business requirements constantly against resulting integration requirements together with them. And we also plan for having sample data available as early as possible in our projects, so already during the design sessions usually, to check and make sure we have a common understanding of the requirements.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And looking at our projects that we are currently involved in, can you tell us a bit about a recently delivered project which was successful?
Yeah, I mean, the last one we delivered was in May this year. We went live with an MFP solution for a retailer running big department stores in Germany, more of the luxury fashion and specialty sector. The solution covers collaborative pre-season planning from strategic plans down to buy plans for more than 50 users. Yeah, that's what we did so far. And the next steps there will be then to implement the in-season process.
Yeah, perfect. That was really successful. So great to hear that. Looking 2 years back, before the COVID pandemic, a typical project involved a lot of on-site activities. Typically, the project manager, the solution architect, the business consultant, the whole team was highly involved in meetings, which typically took place on site and where the actual customer actually was. And obviously that changed a lot since the pandemic has started. But what does that mean for our project approach? Were we able to actually still deliver the same quality and in the same time?
Yeah, I mean, there are two sides, I think, of this story. I mean, COVID changed a lot, of course. But with respect to delivery as such, I mean, we have an international delivery team that is spread over several countries in Europe. So the remote work is a daily business for us now for years. So there was no change with respect to COVID regarding that, if I'm talking about implementation processes as such. But of course, what had to be changed was the approach to drive the process analysis and solution design sessions with our customers. Because as you said, they usually held as on-site sessions in the past, and we had to adapt there. That's clear. So we adapted the format of our sessions to have concentrated 3 hours to maximum 4 hours remote sessions a day, on 2 days, maximum 3 days a week. And leveraging on our MVP approach, we were able to develop a predefined concept for all the process alignment and design sessions. End-to-end means that that enabled us to optimize the documentation and the other resources that we use usually in the sessions and adapt them to the new remote situation to just be better prepared for that. And after each session, we also scheduled feedback blocks with the customer's core team to be able to adapt and in an agile way to their priorities. And yeah, as said, gathered feedback and let's say change maybe the approach a little bit based on the current situation or current status that we have achieved in the sessions so far. Meanwhile, I mean, we drove in that way analysis and design sessions for more than 4 process implementations and I think 3 customers in the last 8 months, so that we consider this approach a proven one.
Okay, cool. I mean, does that mean that we can even be a bit more efficient now when it comes to project delivery, because all the travel is not existent anymore, or it's much less?
Yeah, I mean, let's say there is, of course, a gain of efficiency in terms of using time better than before, maybe saving all the travel times, clear. But I mean, also the, let's say, expectations and requirements in terms of preparation of such workshops have been increasing over the last couple of months. I mean, it was also clear that also on customer side, people needed to get used to this way of working together. And I mean, the mechanics of a remote meeting are others than an on-site meeting. So you need to, let's say, work in another direction. You need to be much more focused. You need to, let's say, share documentation and things much more upfront. There are much more review sessions that you usually do just to ensure a common understanding. So it's a different way of working. It's a more concentrated way of working. And yes, saving the travel times, especially if you consider to be on-site up to 3-4 days a week, saving the travel times gains a lot of additional time for us. That's clear.
Yeah, cool. Well, Dirk, thank you very much for giving us an insight on how Key Value is doing projects, very successfully, by the way. So I think that all the projects that we've done as Key Value have been delivered in a very good quality and also on time and budget. So it sounds very promising. And if any of our audience wants to learn more about how we do projects and is maybe also interested in doing a project with us, they can reach out to us at any time, that's for sure. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we would really appreciate if you would like and follow our podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple podcast. And yeah, we're looking forward to get some feedback from you. Thank you very much. And Dirk, it was a pleasure.
You're welcome, Pastor.
Yeah, and looking forward to do the next episode for you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.